Someone just asked you a simple question. Why did you do that? And without thinking, the words started pouring out. You explained your reasoning. Then you explained your reasoning for your reasoning. Then you caught yourself mid-sentence, wondering why you felt so compelled to justify yourself to someone who had no authority to question you in the first place. But by then, it was too late. The damage was done. You didn't just answer their question. You gave them a detailed schematic of how your mind works. Every value you hold, every fear that drives you, every pressure point they can exploit the next time they need something from you. You opened the vault and invited them to take inventory. And the worst part, you probably smiled while doing it. Think about the last time someone truly intimidated you. Not scared you, intimidated you. Made you feel like you were playing checkers while they were playing three-dimensional chess. What did they have in common? They didn't explain themselves. They made moves you couldn't predict. They operated from motivations you couldn't access. And that unknowability made them powerful. Here's what we're doing today. I'm giving you 6 ways to become that person. I'm giving you 6 tactical ways to let others wonder about you. And I'm giving you the first one right now in the next 60 seconds so you can use it tomorrow morning. Subscribe if you're done being an open book in a world full of people looking for weaknesses. Let's start. First tactic, and this one change everything immediately. Answer questions with questions. Someone asks why you did something. Instead of explaining, you ask, why do you need to know? Not hostile, not defensive. Just genuinely curious about their motivation for asking. Watch what happens. The entire interaction flips. Suddenly, they're explaining themselves while you reveal nothing, and most of the time, when forced to justify why they're asking, they realize they don't have a good reason. The question evaporates. You've defended your boundary without ever actually defending it. Try this tomorrow. Someone probes into something that's none of their business. Don't explain why you won't answer. Don't justify your privacy. Just calmly ask why they're asking. Watch them stumble. Watch them either admit they're being nosy or make up a fake reason that you can then dismiss. You've maintained mystery while simultaneously making them uncomfortable with their own curiosity. That's your first weapon, and it works in the next conversation you have. But here's what nobody tells you about this tactic. And this is critical. When you flip the question back, you're not just defending yourself. You're gathering intelligence, because their answer to, why do you need to know, tells you exactly what they're trying to get from you. They'll reveal their agenda while thinking they're just explaining their curiosity. You've turned an interrogation into reconnaissance. That's Machiavellian efficiency. Now, let me show you why this works. Because if you understand the psychology, you'll use it better. Every time you answer a question you didn't want to answer, you're training people that persistence works on you. That if they push, you'll give. That your boundaries are negotiable if they just find the right angle. But when you flip the question, when you make them justify asking, you train them that accessing your information costs them something. They have to expose their own motivations first. Most people aren't willing to pay that price, so they stop asking. Stop right there. I need to tell you something. As I'm uploading this video, this channel has exactly 4 subscribers. 4, not 4,000, not 400. 4 people. And here's why that matters to you. Right now, you're watching content that took days to research, script, and produce. Content that's giving you tactical psychology most people will never understand. Content that could fundamentally shift how you operate in the world, and you're getting it while this channel is still very small. But here's the reality. Creating this level of content is expensive. Not just in time, but in the mental energy it takes to distill Machiavellian principles into actionable tactics. And I need to know that there are people out there who want this, who understand that what we're building here isn't motivational fluff. It's a tactical manual for psychological power in the real world. So here's what I'm asking. If this first tactic alone gave you something you can use tomorrow, if you can see that this channel is different from the surface-level self-help garbage flooding YouTube, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't wait until the end. Do it now. Because every subscription at this stage isn't just a number. It's a signal that tells me to keep going. That tells me there's an audience for tactical truth instead of comfortable lies. We're building something here. A community of people who understand that power isn't about being the loudest or the nicest. It's about being the most strategic, the most psychologically sophisticated, the most unknowable to those who would try to control us. But I can't build that alone. I need you to tell the algorithm that this content matters, that these ideas deserve to reach people who are tired of being walked on despite being competent. 4 subscribers. That's where we are right now. Help me change that number. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's see how far we can take this channel when we're teaching real tactics instead of feel-good nonsense. Now, let's get back to the tactics, because what comes next gets even more powerful. Second tactic, master the incomplete sentence. You're explaining something in mid-thought, you just trail off. You leave the sentence hanging. Their brain scrambles to complete it, and whatever completion they come up with, they own. They've literally put words in your mouth that you never said. Later, if it benefits you, you can claim that interpretation. If it doesn't, you never finish the thought, so you're not accountable for it. You've created flexibility through strategic incompleteness. Use this when you want to imply something without saying it. Start a sentence that leads toward a conclusion, then stop. For instance, I've been thinking about the direction of this project, and I wonder if... Then pause. Look thoughtful. Change the subject. You've planted a seed of doubt or possibility without actually committing to anything. They'll fill in the rest. And their filling in will reveal what they're worried about or hoping for, giving you information while you've given them nothing concrete. Here's the part that makes this borderline manipulative. You can use incomplete sentences to make people think you agree with them without ever actually agreeing. Someone's ranting about something. You start to say, I completely, and then you pause, shake your head like you're thinking, and move on. They assume you are going to say, I completely agree, and they heard what they wanted to hear, but you never said it. You maintain the relationship without compromising your actual position. That's advanced. Wait, before I give you the next tactic, you need to understand something dark about human psychology. People don't actually want to know you. They want to categorize you, to file you away in their mental boxes labeled safe, or threat, or useful, or irrelevant. Every time you explain yourself, you're helping them categorize you. And once they've got you filed, they stop paying attention. But when you resist categorization, when you don't fit cleanly into their boxes, you force them to keep studying you. You become perpetually interesting because you're perpetually unclear. Third tactic, time delay your responses, not just to texts and emails, to everything. Someone asks you a direct question in person. You don't answer immediately. You pause. You think. You let time pass. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. However long it takes for them to get slightly uncomfortable, then you respond. But that delay does something crucial. It signals that you're choosing your words, that you're deciding what they get to know, that you're not just an open faucet of information anyone can turn on by asking. This creates doubt in them. Did they ask the right question? Should they have asked differently? Are you hiding something or just being thoughtful? They don't know, and that uncertainty is your advantage. Tomorrow, practice the 5-second delay. Every question gets 5 seconds before you respond. No exceptions. You'll hate how it feels at first. The urge to fill that silence will be overwhelming. Do it anyway. Sit in the discomfort, because that discomfort is where your power lives. And here's what I've noticed about the 5-second delay. It doesn't just change how they see you, it changes how you see yourself. When you force yourself to pause before responding, you start catching all the times you were about to over-explain, all the moments you were about to volunteer information nobody asked for. That pause becomes a filter, and that filter protects you from yourself, from your own compulsion to be understood. Fourth tactic: embrace the contradiction. Say things that don't quite line up with previous things you've said. Not lies, just different emphasis, different framings. Let there be versions of you that don't perfectly reconcile with each other. When someone points out the inconsistency, don't scramble to explain it away. Just shrug and say, "People are complicated," or "I contain multitudes." You've just made yourself impossible to categorize cleanly. You're now too complex for their simple mental models. Deploy this when you want to avoid being pinned down to a single position. Be enthusiastic about something one day, skeptical of it in another day. Both can be true depending on context, but by not explaining the context, by letting both versions exist simultaneously, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power, because it makes you expensive to strategize against. People can't plan around you if they can't predict you. That's why this works. But wait, it gets better. When you embrace contradiction, you also give yourself permission to change your mind without explanation. Most people are terrified of being called inconsistent, so they lock themselves into positions they've outgrown just to avoid the accusation of flip-flopping. But when you've established that you're comfortable being contradictory, you can evolve without justifying the evolution. You're free in a way that consistent people never are. Stop. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this: the moment you can be fully understood, you can be fully controlled. That's not philosophy. That's mechanics. Understanding equals prediction. Prediction equals manipulation. Every piece of information you volunteer is a tool someone can use against you, not because they're evil, but because humans are fundamentally self-interested, and self-interested people use whatever information they have to get what they want. Fifth tactic: give them a truth that raises more questions. Someone's digging for information. Instead of stonewalling, you give them something real, something true, but something that creates more mystery than it resolves. I learned this lesson the hard way in Budapest. Now they have a fact. You were in Budapest. Something significant happened there, but they don't know what, when, why, or how it relates to anything. You've fed their curiosity while revealing almost nothing useful. This is advanced. You're using selective honesty to create the appearance of openness while actually deepening your mystery. They feel like they're getting somewhere with you, like you're letting them in. But what you've actually done is given them a puzzle piece that doesn't fit anywhere in the puzzle they're building. They're more confused than before, but they feel closer to understanding. Use this when pressure to open up is building and stonewalling would damage the relationship. Give them a truth that satisfies nothing. The beauty of this tactic is that it builds trust while maintaining opacity. They feel trusted because you shared something, but you haven't actually given them anything they can use. You've satisfied their emotional need to feel close to you without compromising your strategic position. That's the definition of having your cake and eating it too. They get the feeling of intimacy. You keep your mystery. Everybody wins, except they don't know they're losing. And this next part is borderline unethical, so pay attention. When you give someone a truth that raises more questions, you're also testing them. Their response tells you everything. Do they press for more details? That tells you they're information gathering, not relationship building. Do they share something similar in return? That tells you they're trying to create reciprocal vulnerability. Do they just accept it and move on? That tells you they respect boundaries. One sentence gives you a diagnostic on who you're dealing with. Sixth tactic, and this is where we separate amateurs from masters. Learn to speak in stories that could be about you or could be about someone else. There was this time when someone I knew made a decision that looked crazy from the outside but made perfect sense from the inside. Are you talking about yourself? About a friend? About a hypothetical? They can't tell, but they're listening because humans are wired for narrative. And while they're trying to figure out if this story is autobiographical, you're communicating something about your values or your thinking without actually claiming it as yours. Deploy this when you want to influence how people see you without making direct claims about yourself. Tell stories that feature unnamed protagonists who might be you. Let them assume. Their assumptions do more work than your assertions ever could. And you maintain complete deniability because you never actually said it was you. This is how you build a mythology around yourself using nothing but ambiguous narratives. Here's why this is the most powerful tactic. Stories bypass critical thinking. When you make a direct claim about yourself, people evaluate it. They decide if they believe you. They look for evidence, but when you tell a story, they just absorb it. The information slides past their defenses and plants itself in their understanding of who you are. You've influenced their perception without triggering their skepticism. That's why politicians and cult leaders use stories. Because stories work. Drop "let them wonder" in the comments if this is starting to reshape how you think about communication. Now, here's what happens when you actually implement all 6. You stop being the person people figure out in the first conversation. You become the person they're still trying to understand 6 months later. And that prolonged engagement, that extended attempt to know you, that's influence you're not even working for. You're living rent-free in their mental space because you've made yourself a question they can't answer. Tomorrow morning, watch what happens. Someone asks why you made a choice. Why do you need to know? Question for question. Tactic 1 deployed. Someone wants you to commit to a position. You start a sentence and let it trail off incomplete. Tactic 2. They push for an answer. You give them 5 seconds of silence before responding. Tactic 3. They try to categorize you. You show them a contradiction they can't reconcile. Tactic 4. They demand transparency. You give them a truth that creates more mystery. Tactic 5. They want to understand your values. You tell them a story that might be about you. Tactic 6. You're not being difficult. You're being strategic. And strategy beats openness every single time in the real world. But let's be brutally honest about what you're signing up for. Because mystery has a price that nobody talks about. When you stop explaining yourself, some people will fill in the gaps with garbage. They'll decide you're arrogant because you don't justify your choices. They'll assume you're hiding something dark because you don't volunteer your whole history. They'll create a version of you that's worse than the reality, and they'll treat that fiction as fact. Let them. Because here's what you need to understand. People who need you to be fully transparent are people who need to control you. Period. They're not asking for clarity because they care about understanding you. They're asking because unknown variables make them uncomfortable, and they want to eliminate that discomfort by eliminating your mystery. That's about their weakness, not your obligation. The people worth having in your life, the ones operating from positions of actual strength. They don't need you to be an open book. They're comfortable with not knowing everything. They respect boundaries. They can engage with mystery without demanding it resolve itself for their convenience. When you stop explaining yourself, the weak ones self-select out of your life. That's not a bug, that's a feature. There's something Machiavelli wrote that most people misunderstand. He said that a prince must learn to be both lion and fox. Everyone focuses on the lion part, the strength and intimidation. But the fox is more important. The fox survives by being impossible to predict, by never being where enemies expect, by making itself a moving target that can't be pinned down. That's what you're becoming. Not louder, not more aggressive, just fundamentally harder to hit because you're never fully where people think you are. You know what's going to happen when you deploy this? People are going to notice. They're going to sense that something about you has changed, but they won't be able to identify what. You're not acting differently in any obvious way. You're just responding differently to their attempts to know you. And that shift, that new resistance to being fully understood, it creates a gravitational pull. People lean in, pay attention, wonder who you really are. Some will hate it. Let them. They were never going to respect bounded mystery anyway. They wanted access they hadn't earned, and you've just demonstrated that you're not giving it anymore. Their discomfort is data. It tells you they were planning to use that access against you eventually. You just saved yourself the trouble of finding out the hard way. Others will respect it. They'll recognize strength in your boundaries, sophistication in your selective sharing, power in your comfortable silence. These people rise in value in your life because they can handle the real you, the one that doesn't perform transparency for an audience. Build with these people. Invest in these relationships. They're the only ones worth having anyway. The old version of you explained everything and controlled nothing. The new version explains nothing and controls everything. The old you was an autobiography anyone could read for free. The new you is a biography that hasn't been written yet and probably never will be. The old you could be understood and therefore managed. The new you is unknowable and therefore untouchable. This is the strength Machiavelli was pointing to when he talked about maintaining mystery around power. It's not about being secretive for its own sake. It's about understanding that the moment you're fully known, you're fully controlled. And you're done being controlled. If this video just changed how you see every conversation you'll have for the rest of your life, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of people who understand that power isn't about being the loudest. It's about being the least understood by people who don't deserve to understand you. Share this with someone who needs to learn that they're not obligated to be an open book. Drop "I am unknowable" in the comments if you're ready for the shift. Tomorrow, when they ask you to explain yourself, remember, you don't owe anyone access to your internal world. Let them wonder. That wondering is where your power lives. Welcome to the other side.